The former vice president testified yesterday as part of a January 6th investigation, and trees are moving north because of climate change. I'm Jeff Pierre, and this is The 7 from The Washington Post. It's Friday, April 28th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. First up, Mike Pence appeared before a January 6th grand jury yesterday. The former vice president spent hours before the panel in D.C. It's been investigating President Donald Trump's actions during the 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Pence was a key figure in the lead-up to the riot. He refused Trump's demands to overturn the 2020 election results. Trump had tried to block Pence from testifying about any potentially illegal acts. In related news, E. Jean Carroll, who has accused Trump of raping her in the mid-1990s, continued her testimony yesterday in a civil case in New York. Number 2. At least 13 people died in Russian attacks in Ukraine this morning. The strikes targeted cities across Ukraine, including the capital, Kyiv. Officials said that in the central city of Uman, apartment buildings were hit. This was the first missile attack on Kyiv since early last month. It comes ahead of an expected Ukrainian counteroffensive against Russian forces this spring. Number 3. Abortion bans failed to pass in Nebraska and South Carolina yesterday. A near-total ban failed in South Carolina just hours before a 6-week ban failed in Nebraska. This means that abortion remains legal in both states until 22 weeks of pregnancy. Both of those state legislators are dominated by conservatives. The failure suggests a fear is growing among some Republicans that abortion bans could lead to a political backlash. Number 4. Emmett Till's accuser, Carolyn Bryant, has died. Bryant, who was white, was a key figure in the black teen's lynching in 1955. It stunned the nation and helped spark the civil rights movement. Bryant testified in court that Till had propositioned her in a store in Mississippi. Her husband and his half-brother were acquitted of the murder, but later confessed. Bryant, who was 88 years old, died on Tuesday. Number 5. Tabloid talk show host Jerry Springer died yesterday. He was known for The Jerry Springer Show, a rowdy daytime television program. It premiered in 1991 and ran for 27 seasons. It was also very controversial. The show featured fights and aired episodes with titles like Threesomes with Grandma and I Married a Horse. Springer, who died at 79, was mayor of Cincinnati in the late 1970s before pivoting to TV. Number 6.
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
The first round of the NFL Draft was all about the quarterbacks. The number 1 pick was Alabama's Bryce Young, who was taken by the Carolina Panthers. Houston used the number 2 pick on Ohio State's C.J. Stroud. And at number 4, the Indianapolis Colts selected Anthony Richardson out of Florida. It was the first time since 1999 that 3 black quarterbacks were drafted in the first round, and the first time that they were all selected so high. The draft's second and third rounds start tonight at 7 Eastern. The Pittsburgh Steelers have the opening pick. You can watch on ABC, ESPN, and the NFL Network. Number 7. Trees are moving north because of climate change. Trees have geographical ranges that are calculated based on the average annual minimum temperatures. Those are changing as temperatures rise. This means that Alabama cherry trees in Montgomery, for instance, may eventually be replaced by blue jacarandas now native to Latin America. To see how trees where you live could change, you can check out the link in our show notes. That's the show for this week. Don't forget that we launched our very first survey last week. To fill it out, go to wapo.st/the7pod. That's wapo.st/the7pod. And it's the number 7 pod. There's also a link in our show notes. The assistant producer of The 7 is Taylor White. The staff writers are Tess Homan and Jamie Ross. John Taylor is our editor. Additional editing by Christina Quinn. Copy editing by Melissa No, Thomas Haliba, and Francis Moody. Mixing and sound design is by Jim Briggs and Justin Garish. Our theme music is by Edith Mudge. I'm Jeff Pierre. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. And the next time you hear from me, it's gonna be May. I'll meet you back here on Monday.